Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling a topic that's probably crossed your mind if you're looking to, cut through the noise a bit. Minimalism.
Yeah, simplifying things. And we've got a great guide for this. Courtney Carver's piece, Beginner Minimalist. Start here. It maps out her own journey.
Exactly. And what's really interesting, I think, is why she started. It wasn't just about, like, liking tidy spaces.
No, not at all. It came after her multiple sclerosis diagnosis back in 2006. So right away, you see minimalism framed as something deeper, a tool for well-being, really.
Right. Which makes it super relevant for anyone feeling, well, overwhelmed, too much stuff, maybe too many things on the calendar, just too much stress.
Courtney's approach feels really practical.
Yeah. So our mission today is basically to pull out the key ideas from her experience. We want to help you see how this minimalist approach could actually, make a difference.
How it could free up space for the things you really care about.
Precisely. So let's dive in. Where does she say to start?
Well, first things first, she hits on something fundamental. Before you even think about decluttering, ask yourself why. Why do I want to simplify?
The why. That makes sense. It's easy to just start throwing things out, but knowing the reason.
Exactly. For her, it was health, crystal clear.
Mm-hmm.
But for you listening, it could be totally different, right?
Sure. Maybe chasing a dream job or wanting to travel more, or honestly, just wanting more downtime, less rushing around.
And what she points out is, once you nail down that why, the how and what's of simplifying suddenly seem much less daunting. It gives you focus.
That makes a lot of sense. It's the motivation piece.
Yeah, and she doesn't stop there. She suggests digging a bit deeper too, like what are your fears about having less? What pace feels right? Who can support you?
Okay. So it's about setting yourself up for success, really, thinking it through.
Definitely. And how will you even know you're making progress? Thinking about that ahead of time.
Okay, good point. So you figure out your why, you think about the practicalities, but then there's other people, right?
Right.
What if your family or friends don't get it?
That's a really common hurdle, isn't it? Maybe your partner loves collecting things, or your family equates, I don't know, a big house full of stuff with success.
Yeah, navigating that can be tricky. What does Courtney suggest there?
She's pretty clear. Don't try to force it on anyone. Instead, focus on building your own support system.
Okay, like finding your tribe.
Exactly. She mentions resources, books like her own Soulful Simplicity or The Joy of Less, blogs like Becoming Minimalist, even online communities, places you can go for encouragement.
That makes sense. Find people who are on a similar wavelength.
Yeah, and with the people close to you who maybe aren't so keen.
What then? Gentle persuasion?
More like leading by example. That's her main advice. If you seem genuinely happier, less stressed because you're simplifying, well, that speaks volumes, doesn't it?
Right. Actions speak louder than words, kind of thing.
Pretty much. And if they do get curious, maybe then you gently invite them in, like suggest a small decluttering game or let the kids help sort their own toys.
Okay. No pressure, just an invitation if they show interest. And maybe share the benefits you're noticing.
Exactly. Focus on the positives you're experiencing.
Okay, that feels much more manageable.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of manageable, what about feeling totally overwhelmed by the whole idea? Like, where do you even start decluttering?
This is huge. Courtney strongly advises starting small. Tiny steps.
Tiny steps. Okay, I like the sound of that. What does that look like practically?
Well, really simple things like keep a box handy and just toss things you don't need into it as you come across them. Or tackle just one tiny area, a corner of the pantry, one drawer.
Not the whole kitchen at once.
Definitely not. Or maybe limit social media scrolling, but just by, say, 10 minutes to start. Tiny, achievable things. She mentions 7 tiny steps, specifically.
Just to get the ball rolling.
Right.
So you don't burn out before you even really get started.
That's the key. Avoiding burnout. Those small wins build momentum.
Okay. So you take these tiny steps, you start clearing some space.
Yeah.
And then what? Courtney talks about the feeling that might come up then, right? The emptiness.
Yes. The potential discomfort with empty space. You clear a shelf or free up an evening, and it feels weird. A bit unsettling, maybe.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Like, we're programmed to fill every gap, aren't we? Empty space feels wrong somehow.
But she reframes that completely. She says, resist the urge to immediately fill it back up, whether it's with new stuff or just more busyness.
Okay, so what do you do with the empty space?
You pause. You actually use it as space. Space to think, to reflect, to be intentional about what comes next. What do you really want to fill that time or space with?
So the emptiness is actually an opportunity. for mindfulness almost.
Exactly. It's about being deliberate. And to stop it feeling like a chore, she also talks about making it fun, experimenting.
Fun. Minimalism. How does that work?
Well, by trying out some of the popular minimalist challenges or games, she gives examples.
Like,
Project 333, that's the fashion one, right? Wearing just 33 items for 3 months.
oh yeah, heard of that. Sounds intense.
It can be, but it's an experiment. Or the Min's game, getting rid of one thing on day one, two things on day two, and so on for a month.
Okay, that sounds like it could get competitive.
Or just doing quick decluttering bursts, like setting a timer for 15 minutes and seeing what you can let go of. It adds a playful element.
Yeah, gamifying it a bit. That makes sense. Now, another piece of advice she gives sounds really kind, actually. She says not to work too hard at it.
Yes, this gentler approach. Don't turn minimalism into another thing to stress about, another goal to achieve perfectly.
Right, avoid minimalist perfectionism.
Exactly. She suggests pausing sometimes. Before you declutter more, ask yourself, what do I really want right now? Is it less stuff? Or is it actually maybe spending more time on relationships? Or creativity? Or just resting?
Hmm. Checking in with yourself. Is this the right time for more decluttering, or does my energy need to go elsewhere?
Precisely. It links back to that why, but also acknowledges that your needs change. It's not just about the physical stuff either, is it? It's the mindset.
Ah, right.
Hmm.
Moving beyond just the closets and drawers.
Yeah, she emphasizes that the biggest shifts are internal. It's that dawning realization that, hey, I actually need way less than I thought to be happy, content even.
And that internal shift.
Mm.
What does that lead to?
Less mental clutter is a big one. Feeling maybe more connected to yourself or others, being less reactive to things.
Okay, so your energy isn't being drained by managing stuff or mental overload.
So you can actually focus that energy on what truly matters to you, which sounds much better than just having neat shelves, doesn't it?
It really does. That feels like the real core of it.
And she brings it all together beautifully, reminding us that minimalism, the simplifying part, isn't really the end goal.
Right. It's the means, not the end.
Exactly. She said something like, we don't remove clutter to have a simple life. We do it to have a life.
Wow. Okay, that's powerful.
Yeah.
It's about creating the conditions to actually live more fully.
Yes. An invitation to start living more deliberately right now. Doesn't matter how much debt you have or how cluttered your house is today. Start now.
Be intentional with your time, your energy. What fills your heart, as she puts it.
Mm-hmm. And the final crucial point she makes, especially for beginners, trust yourself.
Trust your own path.
Yeah, don't feel pressured to follow every rule from every expert or compare your journey to those perfect Instagram shots.
Right. It's not a competition.
Not at all. It's okay to like things. It's okay to keep your favorite collection or buy something you genuinely need and will love. There's no single right way.
The label minimalist itself doesn't even really matter, does it?
Not really. It's your journey towards living more intentionally, finding what works for you.
Okay. So, recapping this deep dive into Courtney Carver's roadmap, it really boils down to know your why, start small with tiny steps, don't fear the empty space, see it as potential, and trust your own instincts.
That sums it up nicely. It's about finding your own version of a simpler, more intentional life.
So here's something to maybe mull over after listening, thinking about all this.
Yeah.
What's just one area in your life right now? Could be physical stuff, could be commitments, maybe even digital clutter, where taking just one single tiny step towards simplifying might actually create the biggest positive ripple effect for you.
That's a great question to leave things on. Just one tiny step. Where would it make the most difference?